are you doing to my phone?
Hey everybody, this is Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff, and this holiday season I have teamed up with eTradeSupply.com, who is a leading supplier in iPhone parts, Android parts, any parts that you might need to repair something on your device, or maybe parts to even completely rebuild a device if you need. So the display on my iPhone 5 is defective and my iPhone 5 is out of warranty, so what eTrade Supply has done is they have sponsored me for the parts so that I can both rebuild the iPhone 5 and then give it away. But before I do that, I want to have some fun with the iPhone 5, destructing it and testing out its durability. I think that will also be fun for all of you to watch. And then after that, in another video, I'm going to do a custom rebuild and give that device away. What's happened to me in the past is that I have gotten parts from eBay.com from suppliers who were not so honest, telling me that they were original parts when they actually weren't. The parts were completely fake and low quality, and that was something that I didn't want to run into again. So eTradeSupply.com actually has OEM parts, which are original equipment manufacturer parts. They are original parts supplied from the manufacturer. So we have a white-bodied iPhone 5 and a black display, and it's also going to have black button accents. These are original parts. And the thing is, I know that these destruction videos can sometimes tend to really anger some people, but honestly what I am doing here is allowing me to give away my iPhone 5 for free. And all that giveaway information is going to be in another video, so stay tuned for that. So no need to get offended, this is all good fun, nothing is going to waste. So let's see just what this guy can withstand. So the first thing that I want to do here is just test the general durability of the iPhone 5. Here I have two different phones and then the casing for the iPhone 5 that I'm going to be using as the replacement. So here we have the iPhone 5S and we have the iPhone 5 and then the iPhone 5 white version, the replacement. So looking at the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5, you can see that for the iPhone 5 it's a lot darker. So this guy was considered black, where this one is space gray for the iPhone 5S. Now, to the dismay of many, you can see that there is some chipping here on the chamfered edges. So over time, people were seeing many little nicks all over the sides of the iPhone 5, and it really tended to ruin the appearance. The sad thing is that people really babied their iPhone 5, and it still got chips in it. I mean, mine was completely babied, and there are still chips all over it. So part of the reason that I am replacing the iPhone 5 casing with the white version is that appearance-wise it tends to hold up a little bit nicer, or a lot bit nicer for many. All three of these housings are made out of aluminum that have been anodized. Anodizing aluminum is just an oxidation process that makes the surface more durable. And it's nice because after anodizing but before sealing it, you can dye the metals a lot of different appealing colors. So that's all that they've really done here. Each one of these is anodized, where the iPhone 5 has been dipped in a black dye, and the iPhone 5S is definitely not as dark. So over time, I really predict that the iPhone 5S is going to look a lot nicer, and that has also been my experience so far. I'm not seeing any little chips already, but when they do appear, the difference shouldn't be so extreme. So from now on, I think that Apple has been thoroughly humiliated with the iPhone 5 looking like crap over time, and we're going to see just how badly I can get the housing to look. I will also be torturing the front, or the glass, which if rumor is to be believed is Gorilla Glass 2. And if that is true, it means that Corning and Apple have an agreement that Corning is not allowed to disclose that Apple is using them as a glass supplier. This is a very common thing, and a lot of different products have Gorilla Glass, but on Corning's website you won't see them as the listed supplier for that product. But I pretty much believe that Corning is the supplier, which would just make this glass a tempered alkali aluminosilicate, which is just chemically strengthened. So it's supposed to be quite a bit tougher than glass that has not been strengthened, and it also has an oleophobic film on it, which makes it more resistant to fingerprints, which should make them wipe off more easily. And the oleophobic layer also has the purpose of making it more abrasion resistant so that you can resist scratches a little bit more easily. So let's test that theory. So now I'm at the gym late at night with the iPhone 5, so hopefully I don't make a spectacle of myself. I'm going to put it in my pocket with some things that you might find in your pocket, and then take a run on the treadmill and see what happens. So here we have common items such as car keys, house keys, You know, lots of change. And of course, you've got some thumbtacks out. And why not an assortment of nails for good measure? You know, just the common things. So here now we have the iPhone 5. It's in pretty awesome condition right now, except for those little nicks that I have here and there that really weren't my fault. No scratches on the display, no scratches on the back. Let's have at it. If y'all haven't figured it out by now, this is just so much for fun. So we're gonna take it and shove it in my pocket with all of them items. All right. Ouch. I could totally feel those pins through my pocket. Now, I am pretty sure that this is the silliest thing that I've ever done, but it's in the name of science or something. And, you know, at first glance, all I'm really seeing are some dings around the corner, so let's go take a better look at it. Yeah. So, I have now returned from the gym and I've had a chance to look over this guy. At the gym, all I could see were just a little bit of issues along the corners here where the metal has been chipped off, and that was really it. There are such minuscule scratches on the display that I can only see them when holding it up to the light, reflecting it in the light, so I'm more inclined to say that these are scratches of the oleophobic coating rather than the glass itself, as metal objects are really not supposed to scratch glass, since on the Mohs scale of mineral hardness they are less than a 7, which is what glass is. But still I keep in mind that the tacks and nails that I used were very sharp, so I do indeed see some very slight scratches. I do see now that keeping this guy in your pocket with anything is really going to scratch up those chamfered corners. But when looking at the back, nothing happened to it. There really wasn't any damage to it at all, except for on the little Apple insignia. So I wasn't so convinced, and I decided to skitter it across the pavement in the pitch blackness just to see what would happen here. And yeah, as soon as this guy hits pavement, it's going to scratch up really badly. And also that pavement scratched up the glass as well. I'm sure this exact same thing would have happened to the front if I were to run the front across the pavement, but we're going to have some fun destroying that in just a second. So expect dirt, sand, gravel, anything that has a mineral hardness of a 7 or above a 7 to scratch glass, and of course it's just going to chip away like crazy at the anodized aluminum. It's drop test time of the iPhone 5, so I am now outside and it's not raining. Finally, I can do this. So I'm going to have 2 different cameras looking at it from 2 different angles, going to see what it can withstand. Let the record show right now that the display does turn on. It is properly working, although there are some issues with the display. It is defective, so it deserves everything that I am bringing to it right now so that I can replace the display. Let's see what happens here. I have now switched to the iPhone 5S camera. Kind of thought that was a little ironic to film in slow motion, dropping this guy with the iPhone 5S. Freezing. Okay, let's do this. Dropping it from waist height. So slow motion. And yeah. And so from that first drop, really nothing happened to it. We have a small nick right here. Nothing happened to the front, as I don't think it fell on the front. I did hold it falling on the back. Let's see what happens if we drop it on the side. All right, now. So right now the display is still fine. It's still turning on. All I am seeing is a little bit of denting right here. It did not crack the glass. This guy is a hardy little thing. I'm pretty much not even scared to drop this. I wonder how long it's gonna take to actually break the display if I even get that lucky. So now we're going to drop it face flat. Oh, ho, ho. Did not sound nice. You know, I heard something that sounded pretty nasty when that fell. I'm pretty sure that the front cracked. Let's go ahead and lift that up. I don't know what cracked exactly. Oh yeah, it's still recording. But let's get this in refocused. Yeah, let that record show that if you do drop this guy and it falls face flat, you know, yeah, that's gonna shatter. That looks pretty gnarly. So here we have the iPhone 5 that fell the first time on its face, and it's completely shattered. Look at that thing. Yeah, that looks actually fairly dangerous. It goes all the way down to the digitizer beneath. But the digitizer is still working just fine. The camera and everything is still working just fine. So yeah, you might... Let's take this inside and really see the extent of the damage to the display here. now looking at this display, I can really see how broken this glass is, and it's pretty dangerous. There are very sharp little shards that were just falling out everywhere, so I applied some tape over it to prevent this from happening even further. So definitely, if this is to happen to your iPhone, I would not consider this usable anymore, and you should probably either replace this entire assembly or replace the glass as best as you can without hurting yourself. But I'm not going to stop here in terms of the torture. I'm actually going to take out any salvageable parts, such as the battery and also the motherboard and some other things, so that I can completely destruct this phone. I want to do the most ridiculous things possible, including engulfing the phone in fire, so I can't leave the battery in there. That'd probably be dangerous. So let's see what can be salvaged. So what I'm going to prepare to do now is take out any salvageable parts that I want to use again and hold them aside so that I can transfer them into the new housing. This is where the real fun begins. Yay! Salvaging success! Lots of parts here. So here we have it. And at this point, I'm just pretending that these pieces are still part of the display. It's not gonna matter in a little bit once I get done with this. It is now complete torture time. We have the iPhone 5, and my little brother has decided that he's going to mallet it for me. All right, mallet drop number 1. Oh, alrighty. We might need to get a broom or something to clean that up.
You can see on the side how it dented.
Yeah, it completely dented the frame. Oh, that's nice. Sweetness. You can see the front camera being revealed there. At this point, I'm really happy that I salvaged that SIM tray. All right.
Okay, we're good.
Well, Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Aw, that used to be working.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not working now.
No one will notice.
Nothing to see here. That plastic frame that holds the LCD in is completely buckled now. Yeah, you can actually see those pressure points from that mallet. Let's see if I can shake off any excess glass at this point. Oh, it's just completely swinging. Ooh, look what we have here. Now this is actually kind of cool because what we're looking at here are a couple of different things that I can immediately point out. On top is the glass that is stuck with an optical adhesive to the digitizer, which is that touch-sensitive layer. Now this mangled thing right here is the LCD itself. Then we've got what looks like the backlight, and also what diffuses the backlight. And then you have the shielding underneath. So there's a lot of different components here. Very crumbly. Hello! Now I am in La Push Beach in Washington, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun here on the beach with my now completely smashed iPhone in the sand and surf. Ew, sea foam. That looks fun. La, la, la. Make sure to fish me something. She got the fish! Oh no, it's the phone.
Do you want the pieces?
Yes, I do. Gee, thanks, Alyssa. We got plenty of pieces to look at now. Wow. Oh. No.
Why would that make people angry?
See, now the ironic part here is that this glass is now returning to sand. This is the Olympic National Forest. Hey! There's several little pieces.
What are you doing to my phone? What?
3. Where's the rest of it?
Really?
Where's the rest of that? It's all gone.
It flew back over there.
It looks like there's bullet
I know.
marks on there.
Is that? Where's the glass?
I don't know.
Destroyed.
Yep. So now we are back in our little cabin. We're going to be making a jovial candle. Hopefully that melts properly. Yeah. Getting the wax nice and soppy there. Do not do this at home. This is very dangerous and very, very hot. All right, little phone, we're gonna turn you into a candle now. We've got this smoldering hot wax. And we're just going to lightly lower and let it sink. We've got a wick here that we're going to be lighting. Blub blub. And we might as well make it festive while we're at it, since it's around Christmas time. And why not some of these delicate shells? Now we're just going to let this harden a bit. Behold, a Christmas candle. And God said, let there be light. Hey, it's a crisp candle. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, the phone's inside of here. No. Take number 2. We are not getting this to light very well. Okay, well, you know, I couldn't get this wick to light exactly, so, you know, what the hell?
Problem.
Whoa!
Hello.
Burn, baby, burn! Oh, now the wick lights. Yeah, sure.
Andrew, chillax.
It's not gonna keep burning. It's like wood does not want to burn. It's being
I want
stubborn.
to see the candle. Oh, good.
Whoa! Oh my god.
What's that burning?
The tinsel.
Yeah, the
It's worst
tinsel
wood
and
ever,
wax.
Dad. Not even lighter fluid can get it going.
It'll burn down.
Now. Look at
You
that.
can see the phone in there?
Yep, yeah, there it is. I see it. There it is.
You see up there burning? Look at that. You can see the glass sizzling. Sizzle, little phone. There was some glass left on it.
Well, if you're gonna reassemble it, you need at least this piece.
You think so?
Nah.
I wonder what we can work with. Set her on down.
There it is. That's what's left.
Put lighter fluid on it.
Stand
Why is the wick still okay? Of all things, why is the wick okay? Well, this here is what we have left of the glass and the display. That was the... I don't even know what this is. So we've got some shielding here. This was holding the frame. And also whatever's left of the body. What is that spludge right there that melted? So what we're going to do now is we're going to make it go boom! And hopefully get everything else completely detonated. Happy New Year's! This is how we celebrate New Year's here in our house.
Go boom!
Go boom!
Get out of there!
I'm barricaded, by the way. It survived! I would need some M80s to fully kill these guys. Woo! Happy New Year's! So this, dear friends, is all we have left of the beloved iPhone 5. No, I really do like the iPhone. I have an iPhone 5S, as you've seen, and I actually really like that little phone. So as I've told you before, I did this so that I could give the device away. I'm going to rebuild it with the pieces that I have salvaged, and no, I'm not going to be able to salvage these. So if you're looking for any parts to rebuild your device, your iPhone or your Android, please check out eTradeSupply.com. They are the ones who had sponsored me for the parts for this video. Thank you again, eTradeSupply.com. And thank you everybody for watching. This has been Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. I will be making an update video for the giveaway, so please pay attention for that. Hopefully you found this both educational and entertaining, and also don't do any of this crazy stuff that I have done at home. That's just my disclaimer. Have a good night and have a happy new year!